Okay, I think part when we first spoke, I shared with you about how we even got here of the African American Culture Art and History Center. Well, this binder right here is the result of that. We had started out trying to make the Richmond Hill community, uh, which was located off Rawhut Street, a historic district where Jordan Sellars School and a lot of prominent business, African American businesses were. And so in doing so, it really required us to do a lot of research. And so this was one of the binders that I put together in that process of researching the whole area.
So what did Raleigh say when you brought this to him?
Oh, so when Raleigh came down and uh, Miss Brown, she and I met and I showed her all of this, and we drove around the area and looked at all the buildings, and she was like, well, they've made changes about this area, and in this building, the windows are not the same, where the laundromat used to be a laundromat, it's not a laundromat now, it's a store, and they've added a little bit on. So she disqualified those buildings because of some alterations. And even Jordan Sellars School not having the original entrance because they had to change it because the school system uses it now for offices and meetings and things, and it had to have handicap accessibility. So because of all that, that disqualified that predominantly the area from being a historic district. And so I said to her, I said, Miss Brown, I said, so what is the criteria that goes into making a historic district? And of course I already knew the answer, but she told me that buildings that are original, pretty much in their original state with little to no alterations over a certain given time period, or a major event. I said, oh, okay. I said, a major event. And she said, yeah. I said, well, okay, well, you can't get any bigger than the riots of 1969, where Leon Mebane, a 14-year-old boy, was shot over 17 times and is still an unsolved homicide to this day. There was no arrest made. There was no police report done. There was nothing. 50 years. This year is 49. Next year will be 50 years of this young man's death, and there's still no answers. There's still no answers. That's the story of Leon Mebane and the riots of 1969, which was the major story that went national, went all over. I mean, articles here all over the United States. Got news articles from, what is this one's from? West Virginia. What is this one? Oh, that was a Burlington one. This one is Michigan, Illinois, Iowa. That's another Iowa. There's Wisconsin. All over. So when I asked Claudia, I said, so can't get any bigger than riots 1969. But again, like I said, after we did, we did our due diligence, and we feel like it was more important to preserve Alamance County's history as a whole, because though that was a sad thing that happened and it's an unsolved, there's so much positive. There's so many legacies that African Americans have done that's noteworthy to talk about. There's a lot of people in the city. We all do. We want to see a more unified county. And I feel personally, I really truly believe in my heart that there are more people in Alamance County that want to be unified than there are people that want to be divided. I've been in Alamance County my whole life. And so I really do feel that. I really feel like that the regardless of the era that we're living in under this presidency that we have and a lot of the rhetoric that we see, I really feel that in our county, though we have our differences of opinions about different views, whether it's political or not, I do feel like that the majority of the people in Alamance County really want to be a unified county. I really hope that the community get a glimpse of the positive things that African Americans have contributed to this county, because there is a lot, but also be aware and know that though there is a lot of positive, there are some things that are the difficult conversations that we have to have and need to have in order to really have a unified community, because things that are swept under the rug and not talked about, they fester, and it only gets worse. And so we're about the healing process, and having this history preserved is not just for the African American history. It's not for just African American people. It's for the community. It's for everybody. We are a unified community, and we have vast different groups of people here that has done many, many major contributions, and all of it needs to be shared. I love to hear what the Occaneechi tribe has to have to say. I like to hear what the Latino community have to hear. I like to hear what the LGBT community have to say, because we're all in this community together, and we all have experiences, and we all have one thing in common, is that we are of the human race. We're one with each other. I'm no different from you, you're no different from me. We're one with each other.